comes to mind about that word that I heard from a Benedictine monk over 50 years ago. He was giving a retreat. His name was Tom Cullinan. And he was quoting one of the fathers of the church who talked about Jesus taking the place of the leper. So the leper, because of the law, he had to live outside in desert places so nobody could be contaminated. Jesus told him, now don't go and tell anybody. Well, of course, he told everybody. Wouldn't you? Because you want to be included. But Jesus took his place. He could no longer go about publicly. That's a wonderful image. That's a wonderful image. When I hear about lepers, I also go back to the 1980s with the advent of HIV and AIDS. And I think of Paul. His mother phoned me one day to tell me he was ill. And I said, well, what's the matter with him? He said, well, he has a bad trouble with his lungs. So I said, oh, okay. So he was in an isolation hospital in Manchester, in England. And I went to that hospital. And the overwhelming sense that overtook me was of bleach. Bleach. And everybody running around in gowns and masks and protective gloves. Paul was taught by the Benedictines. Paul loved his faith. He's also gay. There was one night when I was coming into Manchester from Liverpool to stay with a friend, and I thought I'd go and see Paul before I go to see this other friend. And he said, you brought communion. And I said, I forgot. So I said, I'll be back in an hour. So I went to see my friend who was a priest, got communion and brought it back to him. Paul loved his faith. And each one of us comes here knowing, hopefully, that we're loved. We're not like the leper that was abandoned, judged, and found guilty. We come to this place because we know we're accepted, loved, and have mercy. I can tell you, as a pastor, as a priest, as a human being, there's no greater joy than belonging. No greater joy than belonging. And so our mission is to, in some way, do what Jesus did. Okay, I'm not suggesting you leave your homes and go and live in the middle of nowhere. But I am suggesting we ask for a heart like Christ, that our heart and our actions will go towards those who are most in need. Remembering that isolation leads people to all sorts of desperate acts. That's why solitary isolation in prison is such an awful thing. We're not isolated. We have God who never abandons us. Because I'm with you always, yes, to the end of time. Praise God. Please like, subscribe, or comment below.